Just got here myself. My contact with the Wardens should be at the back of the cave.
A group of Wardens were protecting a villager from corpses out near Crestwood.
They were likely hunting my friend. I'm glad they didn't come looking for people to help in here. They might well be good men, but they've been given bad orders. It's just us. I brought the Inquisitor.
I'm Alistair. It's an honor to meet you, Inquisitor, though I wish it were someplace a bit nicer.
Are you the Alistair who fought the Archdemon with the hero of Ferelden?
I need to change my name. Yes, that was me. War, betrayal, darkspawn, all lots of fun. And made for excellent stories, I'm sure. Nobody cares about that anymore. I answer to Warden Commander Clarel now. Like everyone else.
I'll take all the help I can get. I know the Wardens have troubles of their own. I wonder, though, might those troubles have anything to do with Corypheus?
When Hawke killed Corypheus, the Wardens thought the matter resolved. But archdemons don't die from simple injury. I feared Corypheus might have the same power, so I started to investigate. I found hints, but no proof. And then, not long after, every warden in Orlais began to hear the calling.
Maker, why didn't you tell me?
It was a secret. A very dangerous one. I tried to actually keep a few of my oaths to the Wardens.
Is the calling some sort of Grey Warden ritual?
Well, Wardens are tied to the Darkspawn. We're connected somehow. And eventually that connection poisons you. You get bad dreams, and then you start to hear the music. It calls to you, quiet at first. And then, so loud, you can't bear it. At that point, you say farewell, and go into the deep roads to die fighting. In death, sacrifice.
And every Grey Warden in Orlais is hearing that right now. They think they're dying.
Yes, I think Corypheus caused this somehow. If all the Wardens die, who will stop the next blight? That's what has them so terrified.
So, Corypheus isn't controlling them. He's bluffing them with this calling. And they're falling for it.
You said all the Wardens are hearing the calling. Does that include you?
Unfortunately, yes. When I'm talking or fighting, I can almost ignore it. But whenever things are quiet, I can hear it. It's like a song you can't get out of your head. Damned annoying, frankly.
How can Corypheus make all these Wardens hear the calling?
I have no idea. I suppose it's part of what he is. Corypheus is tied to the Blight, and not just a product of it like most Darkspawn. Wardens are connected to the Darkspawn too. That's how he seems able to control Wardens who get too close to him. And that's likely what he's doing here as well. Somehow.
Is the calling they're hearing real? Or is Corypheus mimicking it somehow?
I have no idea. Before all this, I'd barely heard of Corypheus. I didn't even know he was supposed to be a Magister until I started digging around. But right now, all that matters is the Wardens are acting like they're going to die.
So the Wardens think they're dying and have stopped thinking clearly. That won't go well.
I saw what a blight did to Ferelden. If Wardens hadn't stopped it, there'd be no more Thedas. Warden Commander Clarel proposed some drastic things, blood magic and such, to prevent further blights before we die. I protested. Maybe too loudly. And Clarel sent guards and... well, here I am. Wardens were gathering here, in the western approach. It's an old Tevinter ritual tower. I'm going to investigate. I could use some help. We should get to that ritual tower in the western approach. Ideally before it lives up to its name.
Was the hero of Ferelden involved in all this?
No. She left before any of this began. A mission of her own. Something personal. We Wardens don't live that long. The calling I spoke of, the real one before it went crazy. Eventually, it killed her. Thing is, when we killed the Archdemon, we discovered that might not be as set in stone as we thought. So she's searching for a way to end the curse. For us both. Maybe for us all.
The way you talk about her, I'm surprised you aren't still together.
Oh, there was a discussion, believe me. Someone had to look into the rumors about Corypheus. We didn't know what was involved at the time. She was going to stay to help, but we had a lead that couldn't wait. One of us had to go. And when I'm done here, we'll be together again. Forever this time.
Have you been happy with her in the years since the Blight?
Happier than I ever dreamed possible. She's more than I deserve. And I hope I make her days easier as well. She was rebuilding the Wardens in Ferelden while I hunted Darkspawn left over from the Blight. It was hard work for both of us. But we always had each other.
How can the calling be stopped? Is that actually possible?
Grand Enchanter Fiona was once a Warden, so I'm told, but had the taint completely drawn out of her. And there was also a Warden named Avernus, who extended his life far beyond what should have been possible. So, we looked into it. We weren't going to give up without a fight. And that's when we found a rumor that meant going deep into the West. It wasn't much, but we've done more with less. My love will find a way. I'm certain of it.
If she's been looking for a way to stop the calling, perhaps she could help us.
I'll give the information to your people in the war room. If nothing else, I'd like to warn her about Corypheus.
You were there, weren't you? You helped fight the Archdemon.
I'm going to be answering that question for the rest of my life. Yes, I was there. It was big. The hero of Ferelden was brave. But that was 10 years ago. What have you done for us lately, Alistair? New times. New problems.
What's it like, being a Warden?
Oh, it's wonderful. You get fresh peaches delivered every morning, first choice of local village girls, and bunnies too. Well, maybe it's not that. Not even close to that. I watched my brothers die at Ostagar soon after I joined. I never thought I'd see Wardens kill themselves.
Why were the Wardens trying to kill you?
When Clarel started talking blood magic and demons to deal with the calling, I said it wasn't a good idea. First, it was awkward silences, some coffee. But when I mentioned Corypheus, things really went wild. The Warden mages said I was interfering, called me a traitor. Funny how often that happens to me.
You mentioned Warden Commander Clarel. Is she behind this?
She's the the one who summoned me and the other wardens to Orlais when we started hearing the calling. I don't know her well. She's a mage. Smart, careful, determined. The sort of mage the Templars told me to keep a close watch over. Makes her the best kind of warden. Or at least I would have thought so. Maybe the Templars aren't wrong about everything.
Do you think she's helping Corypheus willingly, or was she duped?
Laurel would never serve something that looks like a darkspawn willingly. I heard about an advisor of some kind. Maybe we'll learn more at the Western Approach.
Corypheus was held in a warden prison, right? So the wardens should know all about him.
You'd think the wardens would share information with each other, but they're really big on keeping secrets. Maybe they think some knowledge is too dangerous, I don't know. I only found out about Corypheus after I started digging for information. Even then, it wasn't much. For most wardens, he'd be nothing more than an old legend, dead long ago. If they knew of him at all. But you could make it. We've seen lights coming from the tower.
It has to be blood magic. I hope we can stop them before more people get hurt. You take point. I'll guard your backs.
Wait! No.
Warden Commander Clarel's orders were clear.
This is wrong!
Remember your oath. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death... I'm sorry. Sacrifice. Good. Now find it just as I showed. Inquisitor, what an unexpected pleasure. Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, at your service.
I'm guessing you're not a warden?
But you are. The one Clarel let slip. And you found the Inquisitor and came to stop me. Shall we see how that goes?
It looks like you've already done some of my work for me.
What, him? We simply needed his blood. Oh, were you hoping to garner sympathy? Maybe make the Wardens feel a bit of remorse? Wardens, hands up! Hands down.
Corypheus has enslaved them.
They did this to themselves. You see, the calling had the Wardens terrified. They looked everywhere for help.
Including Tevinter.
Yes, and since it was my master who put the calling into their little heads, we in the Venatori were prepared. I went to Clarel full of sympathy, and together we came up with a plan. Raise a demon army, march into the deep roads, and kill the old gods before they wake.
Ah, I was wondering when the demon army would show up.
You knew about it, did you? Well then, Here you are. Sadly for the Wardens, the binding ritual I taught their mages has a side effect. They're now my master's slaves. This was a test. Once the rest of the Wardens complete the ritual, the army will conquer Thedas.
That's all I needed to know.
Oh, please. The Elder One showed me how to deal with you in the event you're foolish enough to interfere again. That mark you bear, the anchor that lets you pass safely through the veil, you stole that from my master. He's been forced to seek other ways to access the Fade. When I bring him your home, his gratitude will be... Ah! Kill them!
They refuse to listen to reason.
You were right. Thanks to the ritual, the Warden mages are enslaved to Corypheus.
And the Warden warriors? Of course. Sacrificed in the ritual. What a waste.
Human sacrifice? Demon summoning? Who looks at this and thinks it's a good idea?
The fearful and the foolish.
Hawke, they made a mistake, but they thought it was necessary.
All blood mages do. Everyone has a story they tell themselves to justify bad decisions. And it never matters. In the end, you are always alone with your actions.
I may know where the Wardens are. Eramond fled that way. There's an abandoned Warden fortress in that direction. Adamant.
Good thinking.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you back at Skyhold.
The fortress has stood against the Darkspawn since the time of the Second Blight.
Fortunately for us, that means it was built before the age of modern siege equipment. A good trebuchet will do major damage to those ancient walls. And thanks to our Lady Ambassador...
Lady Cyril of Jadar was pleased to lend the Inquisition her sappers. They've already delivered the trebuchets. That is the good news.
None of that accounts for the Wardens summoning a giant demon army.
That is the bad news.
The Inquisition forces can breach the gate, but if the Wardens already have their demons...
I found records of Adamant's construction. There are choke points we can use to limit the field of battle.
That's good. We may not be able to defeat them outright. But if we cut off reinforcements, we can carve you a path to Warden Commander Clarel.
So our plan is to lay siege to a legendary fortress filled with demons.
It'll be hard fought, no way around it. But we'll get that gate open.
It's also possible that some Wardens may be sympathetic to our cause. The warriors may be willing to listen to reason, though I doubt they will turn against Clarel directly. The mages, however, are slaves to Corypheus. They will fight to the death.
We've built the siege engines and readied our forces, Inquisitor. Give the word, and we march on Adamant.
Pull back! They're through!
All right, Inquisitor. You have your way in. Best make use of it. We'll keep the main host of demons occupied for as long as we can.
It's a worrying lack of specificity there, Commander.
There are more of them than I was hoping, Inquisitor.
You don't say.
Warden Alistair will guard your back. Hawke is with our soldiers on the battlements. She's assisting them until you arrive. There's too much resistance on the walls. Our men on the ladders can't get a foothold. If you can clear out the enemies on the battlements, we'll cover your advance.
Chernoff, I just helped save you.
Why should I trust you, Alistair? You're a traitor to the Wardens. Clarel called for your death. The Inquisition is here to stop Clarel, not to kill Wardens. If you fall back, you won't be harmed. All right. My men will stay back. We want no part of this. Deal with Clarel as you must.
I'm glad some of them could be reasoned with.
Wardens! We are betrayed by the very world we have sworn to protect.
The Inquisition is inside Clarel. We have no time to stand on ceremony.
These men and women are giving their lives, Magister. That might mean little in Tevinter, but for the Wardens, it is a sacred duty. It has been many long years, my friend.
Too many, Clarel. If my sword arm can no longer serve the Wardens, then my blood will have to do.
It will.
Stop them! We must complete the ritual!
It's done, Clarel! There'll be no ritual and no demon army!
Then the Blight rises with no Wardens left to stop it! And the whole world dies! Is that what you want? And yes, the ritual requires blood sacrifice. Hate me for that if you must, but do not hate the Wardens for doing their duty!
We make the sacrifices no one else will. Our warriors die proudly for a world that will never thank them.
And then he binds your mages to Corypheus.
Corypheus? But he's dead.
These people will say anything to shake your confidence, Clarel.
Bring it through! Please. I've seen more than my share of blood magic. It is never worth the cost.
I helped fight the Archdemon in Ferelden. Could you consider listening to me?
Be ready with the ritual, Clarel. This demon is truly worthy of your strength.
Listen to me! I have no quarrel with the Wardens! I have spared those I could! I don't want to kill you, but you're being used! Some of you know it, don't you? The mages who've done the ritual. They're not right. They were my friends, but now they're like puppets on a string.
You cannot let fear sway your mind, Warden Chernov.
He's not afraid. You are. You're afraid that you ordered all these brave men and women to die for nothing.
If this were a fight against future blights, I would be at your side. But it's a lie.
Clarel, we have come so far. You're the only one who can do this.
Perhaps we could test the truth of these charges to avoid more bloodshed.
Or perhaps I should bring in a more reliable ally. My master thought you might come here, Inquisitor. He sent me this to welcome you.
You've destroyed the Grey Wardens.
You did that to yourself, you stupid bitch. All I did was dangle a little power before your eyes, and you couldn't wait to get your hands bloody. You could have served a new god.
I will never serve the Blight. Peace, vigilance.
Well, this is unexpected.
We were falling. Is this... Are we dead?
No. This is the Fade. The Inquisitor opened a rift. We came through. And survived. I never thought I would ever find myself here physically. Look. The Black City. Almost close enough to touch.
This must be very exciting for you, Solus. Any advice you have on what exactly is going on would be wonderful.
What spirit commands this place? I have never seen anywhere like it.
It's not how I remember the Fade either. Perhaps it's because we're here physically, instead of just dreaming. The stories say you walked out of the Fade at Haven. Was it like this?
How should I know? I'm not exactly an authority on the subject.
What was it like last time?
I don't even remember last time.
Well, whatever happened at Haven, we can't assume we're safe now. That huge demon was right on the other side of that rift Eramond was using, and there could be others.
In the real world, the rift with the demons in it was nearby, in the main hall. Can we get out the same way?
It beats waiting around for demons to find us, right? There, let's go.
The area I would have chosen, of course. To physically walk within the Fade.
Concentrate on the task at hand, mate. There is nothing more dangerous than this place.
Thank you for the warning.
Solus, you're the expert on this place. Anything helpful?
The Fade is shaped by intent and emotion. Remain focused, and it will lead you where you wish to go. The demon that controls this area is extremely powerful. Some variety of fear, I would guess. I suggest you remain wary of its manipulations, and prepare for what is certain to be a fascinating experience.
What? That can't be.
I greet you, Warden. And you, Champion.
Divine Justinia. Most holy.
Cassandra.
Cassandra, you knew the Divine. Is this really her?
I don't know. It is said the souls of the dead pass through the Fade and sometimes linger, but we know the spirits lie. Be wary, Inquisitor.
I don't recall the Divine glowing. In my experience, that's something spirits do.
You think my survival impossible, yet here you stand alive in the Fade yourselves. In truth, proving my existence either way would require time we do not have.
Surely you can understand our concerns and explain what you are.
I am here to help you. You do not remember what happened at the Temple of Sacred Ashes, Inquisitor.
Did you take my memories?
No. You lost them to the demon that serves Corypheus. It is the nightmare you forget upon waking. It feeds off memories of fear and darkness, growing fat upon the terror. The false calling that terrified the Wardens into making such grave mistakes? Its work.
I'd like to have a few words with this nightmare about that.
You will have your chance, brave Warden. This place of darkness is its lair.
Corypheus seems to have a lot of demons at his disposal. How does he command so many?
I know not how he commands his army of demons. His power may come from the Blight itself, but the Nightmare serves willingly, for Corypheus has brought much terror to this world. He was one of the Magisters who unleashed the first Blight upon the world, was he not? Every child's cry as the Archdemon circles. Every dwarf's whimper in the deep roads. The Nightmare has fed well.
How do we hurt it?
We should likely focus on escaping the Fade first.
You hurt it by escaping the Fade and leading your people against Corypheus.
That wasn't what I meant.
I know. But for now, it is the best answer I can give you. When you entered the Fade at Heaven, the demon took a part of you. Before you do anything else, you must recover it. These are your memories, Inquisitor. Why are you doing this? You, of all people!
Keep the sacrifice still.
Someone, help me!
What's going on here? So that mark on your hand, it wasn't sent by Andraste. It came from that orb Corypheus was using.
Corypheus intended to rip open the veil, use the anchor to enter the Fade, and throw open the doors of the Black City. Not for the old gods, but for himself. When you disrupted his plan, the orb bestowed the anchor upon you instead.
That's it!
Yes.
That tells me nothing. Not about Corypheus or a weakness for the demon, or even a way out of here. All it tells me is that I should break his damned orb next time it starts glowing.
Yet, even that information may one day help you. You cannot escape the lair of the Nightmare until you regain all that it took from you. You have recovered some of yourself, but now it knows you are here. You must make haste. I will prepare the way ahead.
What's wrong, Hawke?
Those were Grey Wardens holding the Divine in that vision. Their actions led to her death.
I assumed Corypheus took their minds. You've seen it happen yourself. Come on. You can add it to the things to yell at the Wardens about when we get out of here.
Oh, I intend to.
Truly have been the most holy?
We have survived in the Fade physically. Perhaps she did as well. Or, if it is a spirit that identifies so strongly with Justinia that it believes it is her, how can we say it is not?
Whatever she is, she seems to want to help us.
And the Nightmare? From what she said, I don't look forward to meeting it.
It is a fear demon, as I suspected, likely drawing on terrors related to the Blight. Fear is a very old, very strong feeling. It predates love, pride, compassion, every emotion, save perhaps desire. Be wary. The Nightmare will do anything in its power to weaken our resolve.
But after what it did to the Wardens, it's going to learn to fear for itself.
So, some foolish little boy comes to steal the fear I kindly lifted from his shoulders. Your fear where it lay, forgotten. You think that pain will make you stronger? What fool filled your mind with such drivel? The only one who grows stronger from your fears is me. But you are a guest here in my home, so by all means let me return what you have forgotten. Hawke, did you think anything you ever did mattered? You couldn't even save your city. How could you expect to strike down a god? Anders is going to die, just like your family, and everyone you ever cared about.
Of course, a fear demon would know where to hurt us most. We must ignore it.
This is the breach back in Haven. That's how I escaped.
The demon!
Keep running!
Ah!
It was you. They thought it was Andraste sending me from the Fade, but it was the Divine behind me. And then she died.
Yes.
So this can't be the Divine.
I think we all knew that was the case, Warden.
I am sorry if I disappoint you.
The only thing that's important right now is getting out of the Fade. Whatever you are, you've helped us so far.
What we do know is that the mortal Divine perished at the temple, thanks to the Grey Wardens.
What, again? It wasn't their fault. We can debate the depressing details when we get back to Adamant.
The Nightmare watched Corypheus and grew powerful off the fear. Were you like that for the Divine? A spirit watching her from the Fade, inspired by her faith.
If that is the story you wish to tell, it is not a bad one.
What we do know is that the mortal Divine perished at the temple, thanks to the Grey Wardens.
What, again? It wasn't their fault. We can debate the depressing details when we get back to Adamant.
Yes, Adamant, where the Inquisition faces an army of demons raised by the Wardens.
So what are you saying? Terrible actions are only justified when they're your terrible actions? You practically killed every mage in Kirkwall.
Yes, because too many of them were practicing blood magic, just like your Wardens. Even without the influence of Corypheus, the Wardens go too far. They need to be checked.
Agreed. The Wardens may once have served a greater good, but they are far too dangerous now.
The Wardens are a risk. Send them away before they cause even more trouble.
What are you saying? You want to get rid of the Wardens? Everyone makes mistakes. They would have died to save us.
Wardens carry out a vital duty, but they also go too far. They need to be controlled.
Inquisitor.
The nightmare has found us.
All together!
I'm with you.
This bastard think he could prove himself. It's far too late for that. Your whole life you left everything to more capable hands. The Archdemon, the throne of Ferelden. Who will you hide behind now?
Is that all it's got? I've heard worse than that from Morrigan.
Think you can fight me? I am your every fear come to life. I am the veiled hand of Corypheus himself. The demon army you fear, I command it. They are bound all through me.
Ah, so if we banish you, we banish the demons. Thank you. Every fear come to life. If you would, please tell Liliana. I am sorry. I failed you too.
How do we get by?
Go! I'll cover you.
No, you were right. The Wardens caused this mess. A Warden must...
A warden must help them rebuild. That's your job. Corypheus is mine.
Hawke.
Say goodbye to Varric for me.
No demon army for Corypheus, it appears. The Divine, or her spirit, was right. You know that's not how they see it, though. And they just saw their Inquisitor work another miracle.
They need something to believe in.
I suppose the Inquisitor and his Warden friend escaped by the skin of their teeth wouldn't be as good for morale.
Inquisitor, the Archdemon flew off as soon as you disappeared. The Venatori Magister is unconscious but alive. Cullen thought you might wish to deal with him yourself. As for the Wardens, those who weren't corrupted helped us fight the demons. We stand ready to help make up for Clarel's tragic mistake.
Where is the champion? Hawke is not with us.
Hawke sacrificed her life to save us and strike a decisive blow against Corypheus.
The champion is gone.
She gave her life not because she'd sworn an oath or been marked as special, but because someone had to do it.
Alistair, you're the senior surviving Grey Warden. What do we do now?
You stay and do whatever you can to help. Alistair believes that the Wardens are worth saving, and I trust him. You're still vulnerable to Corypheus, and possibly his Venatori, but there are plenty of demons that need killing.
After all that, you give them yet another chance?
While they do that, I'll report to the wardens at Weishaupt. Corypheus won't catch us with our trousers down again.
Thank you, your worship. We will not fail you.
You've already created something big with this Inquisition. I wish you luck leading it.
Send me one final report. He is on his way to Weishaupt. As for the Grey Wardens, they are fighting demons and Red Templars while staying clear of Venatori. You dealt Corypheus a significant blow, Inquisitor.
At the time, it felt like a lot of running and escaping.
Either way, Corypheus lost the army he would have used to conquer Thedas. You took an army from Corypheus, but that will matter little if Orlais falls into chaos. All arrangements have been made for the ball in Halam Shiral. Let us know when you are ready to proceed.
Remind me what we know about the plot against Selene.
The Venatori are planning some kind of attack on the Imperial Court. Corypheus may even be fueling the conflict between the Empress and her cousin, Grand Duke Gaspard. If we warn Selene, she may prove a most valuable ally against Corypheus.
Where can I find the Empress?
She's holding a grand masquerade ball at her winter palace in Halam Shiral. Your invitation has been arranged. That is where the Venatori will strike. Speak with us when you are ready. What was she like? Divine Justinia, or her soul, or the spirit that took her form. I read your report. I know it isn't clear, but...
She seemed calm, serene even. And she guided us the whole way through.
That does sound like her.
She did ask me to tell you something, though. She said, "I'm sorry. I failed you too."
Oh. I should finish this before it slips my mind. Perhaps later we might discuss the matter further. Thank you.